Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sterling Silver and I have a really cool video in store for you guys here today. So actually we're going to take these two Garrett AT Pros and we're going to put them head to head on like depth, pinpointing, all that stuff. But there is a slight catch. See this one right here? This is actually 2 years old. I bought this February of 2016. And this one over here is brand spanking new. This is my younger brother's metal detector, and he's actually known as Square Nail on the channel. But we're actually gonna put these two detectors against each other in like depth, pinpointing, all that stuff. And you can see I have some stuff over here. But first, before we start, I want to tell you guys what Garrett has changed the AT Pro for the past 2 years. Before we get into testing these two fellas, I want to go over the 3 things that I know of that Garrett has changed to the AT Pro for the past 2 years. Number 1 is this grip. This is actually the old grip that came with my detector 2 years ago, and this is the one that they have updated. This was originally put on the AT Max, and then Garrett decided to put it on the AT Pro, which is a thumbs up, because this is a really good grip. It's very comfortable. It's a little bit hard. It's not as squishy as this one, but it is great for water hunting, and it's very easy to clean. The old one is kind of like a sponge, I would say. You know, it's like flexible and kind of sucks in that dirt and water, and it's kind of hard to clean, but that makes it a very nice clean look. Number 2 are the headphones. These are the headphones that came with the old detector, and these are Master Sound Garrett headphones. You can see it has volume control right there, and another one for each speaker in each earphones. But I don't really like these because, you know, I detect a lot in the summer. So detecting a lot in the summer, it makes my ears very hot and sweaty, and it's kind of bulky, and it's not as comfortable as these guys. So this one is super lightweight. I love it. It's a very good headphones. These are the MS2. You can see right there, MS2 Garrett MS2. These came with the brand new one, and the cool thing about this is, let's see if I can show you guys. These fold up like that, and it's really easy to store it, whether it's in your backpack or something like that. But that's awesome. You can see both of these have the Garrett 1-pin connection. I think that's what it's called. Let's see, I unscrew this. See right there, and it plugs into the AT Pro. And this one only has a speaker on. It's a volume control for both of the speakers in here. Number 3 is the price. All right, I bought my AT Pro 2 years ago, and it cost me $620, and it took me a while to save up for that. And to date, the Garrett AT Pro sells for $550. So I guess they marked it down $70, which is great for you guys. I guess I bought mine a little bit expensive, but it was kind of newer when I bought it 2 years ago. Awesome. So we're actually going to get into testing these guys out. So what we're actually going to do is, I have a bucket full of soil. This was super dry, so I put a little bit of water in it just to make it a little bit moist. And so we're gonna do we're gonna bury the silver quarter right here, 2 inches, 4 inches, and all that stuff. Swing over the detectors and see if they're same. I'm wondering, with my old one, I do metal detecting a ton out in the heat of Oregon and California, and I wonder if it has its toll in the machine. So we're gonna test that out and see if it does. But we're gonna, so like I said, we're gonna measure 2 inches down with the measuring tape, dig it with the lash, and swing over with the detectors and see if they're the same. Alright guys, I just buried the quarter 2 inches from the top of the soil. You can see there. I am going to bury every quarter, every timeline, do like 4 inches, 8 inches, a foot, whatever. I'm gonna bury it flat like this. I'm not gonna put on the rim or any of that. I might put on the rim just to test it out deep, but that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna test that out. We're actually gonna do my old detector first. What is that, an acorn in here too? And we're gonna flat this out. Alright, we're gonna swing it with the old detector and then the brand new one. Alright guys, I also forgot to mention that we are using the stock coils on each of the detectors, and that I also took the handle off of the bucket, so there's no metal on the bucket or in the soil. So we're just gonna pick up that silver quarter, which is right in the center right there. And it's buried 2 inches. And we're gonna use, let's turn on the detector, and we're gonna be on Pro 0 mode. Okay, let's swing over this. Now we're gonna pinpoint, and this is where we can tell if how the detector is, what depth the detector is reading it on. 2 inches. And you can see the coil is right, the center of the coil is right over the quarter. So that is exactly perfect. Alright, here's the new detector. You can see the grip on there. And actually, we're going to move this detector a little bit away from it. So let's swing over this quarter. Oh, gotta change it into the Pro 0 mode. Well, the thing about the new one is I could tell it's way more cleaner. That sounds good. Alright guys, now the quarter is buried at 4 inches. Flatten out the coil a little bit. And change it to Pro mode. It's picking it up. Now let's pinpoint. 4 inches. Awesome. Now it's the new machine. Picking it up like a dream. Now we're going to pinpoint it. 4 inches. Alright, now we're going to bury the quarter at 6 inches. Alright, now the quarter is buried at 6 inches. It's picking up. It's a little bit choppy. You can hear, actually, you notice that the sound is a little bit like not as loud. It's kind of faint. That means it's like a little bit deeper, and it's the detector's barely picking it up. Here it's a little bit faint. All right, let's pinpoint it and see if it will pinpoint at 6 inches. 6 inches. All right, now the new detector now. It's also barely picking up. Let's move around a little bit. Now let's pinpoint. 6 inches. The quarter is now buried at 8 inches, and I honestly don't think we're gonna pick it up with the old machine. We might get a chirp in there, but I don't think we're gonna pick it up. Actually, it's picking up more than I thought. But you can see it's actually bringing up pretty darn low. Let's go all around. There's a little bit of a high, cheap chirp in there, but that's not a signal I would dig. Now, of course, if you get a bigger coil, you'll hear it way better. So let's actually pinpoint. says it's at 6 inches, and I totally buried it at 8 inches. So I wonder what the new machine will say about it. All right, here we go. It's picking a lot up, a lot more. Let's pinpoint. 8 inches. Oh. And it also says it's at 6 inches too, as well. Interesting. Alright guys, now we buried the quarter at 10 inches. We cannot bury it at a foot because the bucket isn't even a foot tall. It's only 10 inches. So we buried it at the bottom of the bucket and see if the old detector will pick it up. See how it's ringing pretty low because it's barely picking it up. Alright, we're going to pinpoint, and what we want is 10 plus. It says it's at 6 inches, and we buried it towards the bottom, actually at the bottom of the barrel. Alright, now the new detector. It's definitely picking up a lot more. And you can, where was it? There's a little bit of a high signal, but it's also bringing up as that low 1, 2, 3 signal. But sometimes it'll, yeah, you see that? Jumped it a little bit. That's pinpoint. Now it says it's at 6 inches too. So actually, these two machines on depth are about the same. So now we're gonna actually do a test on pinpointing. What I use for pinpointing to test out detectors is this. You can see the nickel's down there a couple of inches. See, it's right here. I'll find that out. We're gonna put this piece of paper right above it. Alright, so when we're gonna pinpoint, you see the white right there. We want that white to be covered at the center of the coil. Alright, so we're gonna use the old detector first, and see it's giving a 50 signal. Now we're gonna pinpoint. You can see it's full pinpoint, and the paper is covered by the coil. Another way to pinpoint is to go this way, and then when the signal fades, you can hear it's way lower. The signal's at the tip of the coil, and it's loud at the center, and then that pinpoint just perfect. Alright, now the old detector, the new detector. Nice nickel signal. There it is, full, and it's covered. Now we're gonna fade out a little bit, and now it's at the tip of the coil. So they both pinpointed perfectly. That is really good. Alright guys, now this is a speed test. You can see there's a silver quarter right there on top of the ground, and then there's a nickel right there, and there's like 5 or so screws right here. So you can see the iron screws kind of give a low grunt, and then the nickel gives like a nice mid-tone, and the quarter gives a nice solid high tone, bell tone, whatever you want to call it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to swing So it's gonna, and I'm gonna swing faster, and see how fast it'll go to pick up every single signal. Okay, so let's, ready, set, go. Faster. 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 Alright, that's about as fast as it can go, and that was actually pretty good. I could hear the high tone kind of like, let's see. You can definitely hear the nickel and also the iron and all the signals when I'm swinging it super fast. You listen really hard. Goes like high. Huh. Now we're gonna do it with the new machine and see if it has any difference. I got the new machine all ready to go, and we're gonna swing over these 3 objects. Faster. Faster. That's about how fast I can go. But I forgot to tell you guys, but I am swinging a couple inches off the ground as well. So actually there was like no difference at all. Alright guys, this is actually the last test I'm going to do. But I actually, right there or so, I buried a silver quarter, and then I buried a nickel on edge right there. And then I buried a bunch of screws all around it. I want to see if the detectors will pick out both of those signals. We're going to do the old detector first, and let's swing it over it. Definitely picking up that silver quarter. That's the silver quarter. Now where's that nickel? Now let's try to pinpoint that silver quarter. There it is, right here. No problem pinpointing. Now where's that nickel again? There it is, right there. So that actually picked it out pretty good, and plus we're using the big coil, which isn't as great as picking out signals. Interesting. And now the new detector. There's that silver quarter. Now you can hear the iron all around. Where's that nickel? Somewhere over here. Now that's the silver quarter. Alright guys, that's the video. I was actually kind of curious to see if there would be a difference between the 2 detectors, but there wasn't a difference at all. I noticed that the new one is right here. The grip's right there. That the tones were a little bit more clear than my old one. Plus, you know, the speaker in there is about 2 years old. But overall, the AT Pro is an awesome machine. I highly recommend it. It's really easy to learn. It's not too complicated like the other metal detectors on the market, and it's a great machine. It's waterproof to 10 feet. I have not taken it out into the river yet, I want to do that this summer. I just have to get some waterproof headphones, of course. But yeah, and I guess there wasn't really a difference between the two detectors, which is awesome, because this one is 2 years old, and it's still acting like it's brand new, which is very good, and it's gonna last a long time until someday it'll probably break down. But I don't see that gonna happen anytime soon. Overall, Garrett did a really good job on the AT Pro, and thumbs up to them. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and also leave a like on this video. See you guys.